I think they are trying to enlarge the discussion and take it to the people. But I want to hide under Article 1. Sovereignty of this nation is vested on the people, done by themselves directly or through their elected leaders. This matter is on the table of the elected leaders. But probably, because it's a national matter, they want to open it up. But as you said earlier, how do you have a conversation in Kiambu Town Hall with 2 million Kiambuyans? It's impossible. Be that as it may, let's see how it all unfolds. But it may be an exercise in futility.
It's just a rubber stamping exercise.
Well,
somehow.
It's probably opening it up for people to vent, and say what they think. But at the end of the day, it will still go back to the House.
It goes back there.
Yes.
Do you think they'll even look at, does it matter if you quote Article 2, Article 3, Article 215, Article 275 of the Constitution?
The only issue here is records speak. And at this time and age of digital world, those conversations in those counties will be recorded. And they will be part of our archives. So at any one point, Latif and Kabogo want to see what the people of Garissa said. We should be able to access. You can manipulate who comes and what happens. But the discussion will be available. So who will be talking is another matter. You understand? They may be dragging this matter too far. As it is very huge. Very huge. And I said, I would hate to be in that situation. Believe you me, if it were me, I would run.
You would resign immediately?
I would run, man. I would run.
The things that we are talking about when we talk about contravention of the Constitution are actually serious things, because we talk about the Constitution being the sovereign law upon which Kenyans and the government will operate, under which will operate. So if you see any contravention of the Constitution, those are serious things. But it does seem as though they're being thrown about in a frivolous manner, like, okay, let's throw something and let's see if it'll stick, But if we look at it from that point of view,
if we're not careful.
Yeah, if we look at it, and again, I'm just coming back to the danger that it poses, whereby anybody is going to be able to say, well, here's something that the Constitution says. And if I feel like you looked at me left, that's what I'm going to throw at you and say, well, that's in contravention of the Constitution. And it's almost as if we're watering down the potency of the supreme law. Because 11 counts, okay, that's quite something, but is it, and I keep going back to this because I cannot wrestle myself away from it, that are these things of such grave importance that we're able to be encapsulated by it for the last 2 weeks and maybe counting, whereby there is a myriad of other things that needs to be handled by the same House of Parliament that should be focused on?
If you ask me, we lost it when we lost value for the rule of law. Bad or good, the law is the fabric of a good society. If it's not working, fix it. When Kimunya said as a minister that title deeds are papers, I got very worried. Banks got too worried, they stopped lending money with title deeds. Till today, that's a problem. These same guys who are going to do this thing in the villages, they've been told CDF is unconstitutional, and they're still pushing it. It's been told unconstitutional 3 different times.
Yep.
By different benches, up to 5 benches. Why wouldn't they give it up and tell the country, yes, mahakama imesema, it is unconstitutional. So until that matter is reviewed or an appeal goes through, it is unconstitutional and be treated as such. So sometimes it is good when it favors them. Right now, there's a motion to increase the term of the
presidency.
And I don't know who else. Boss. What do they want?
What's important?
Do good 5 years, get another 5 from the people, from your good work. You understand?
Stop thinking of 11.
The other thing Parliament is forgetting, because it's been put there that their term will be increased. You know that there's nothing you can do according to the law to benefit yourself in Parliament. It will benefit the next one. So there's no way they can extend theirs. Is that the conversation Kenya wants to have right now about extending the
Term
limits of the president? I'm not sure that William Ruto wants to extend his term. It would be nice to be a president an extra 2 years.
Will it really? With the sort of turmoil that we have in the country, will you really want to be a president for another 2 years?
But you know, City, in a few days, 900, we will be going to an election.
Yes.
Who elects these people? Who elects us? It is you, Mwananchi.
True.
I line up ahead of you, I cast my vote, and you cast yours. For me, these clowns have been elected by people. You understand? So when will Kenya change if we continue electing them? Alafu unaweka kura baada ya makatano kulia. Unalia 5 years.
Alafu unarudi
The day
unafanya
of
same
election,
mistake.
unatoka asubuhi na mapema, unapiga laini 5-6 hours, unajifix. Ndio ulie 5 years. Ndio ulie 5 years. Kama sasa Gen Z wanafanya vizuri accountability, si ndio? But Ruto must go. If he had gone then, they had gone to sell and he had gone, what would have happened? You know, we don't think beyond something. You should see to the horizon. What next? They were saying, oh, Speaker holds for I don't know how many days and then an election. Election by who? Conducted by who?
And we do not have.
We do not have an IEBC. We must stop just throwing things into the air. You understand? We must do things within a framework that is explainable within our constitution. There are ways of removing a president just like this one. True or not true? It is there in the Katiba how to remove a president.
William, there was a time when we were told that Idi Amin was going to attack Kenya.
Yes.
And that he was going to claim part of his land which ended at Naivasha. So that western part, western nini yote was going to go to Uganda.
Na tulikuwa tumeona saa hiyo ameweka viwete baharini.
Baharini, yes.
So a threat from that kind of man, it must be taken seriously.
And people demonstrated in Kenya.
Yes.
Demonstrated. But the question you want to ask, what was happening in Kenya at that particular time? What else was happening? What was happening to the presidency at that particular point?
Wasn't it the Change the Constitution movement?
Precisely.
Yes.
Precisely. There are things which, whether we like it or not, are diversionary. They happen so that your attention is taken elsewhere. Because since this matter of the deputy president gained momentum and actually became the center stage, nobody talks about cost of living. Nobody talks about, well, we did, the people who have died needlessly in this country. Nobody talks about hospitals that have no drugs. Forget the problems that we're talking about now. Nobody talks about schools and the capitation that they have not received. This thing is center stage on everything. As if when this man or the process comes to whatever end it's going to come to, okay, the issues that we had before, will they have moved even an inch?
This is my question. That okay, let's move forward in future if it's possible. What's that teleport?
Yeah, we can teleport.
We can teleport into the future, maybe some 2 weeks into the future. So now let's say that in the future we see that impeachment has gone through. So suddenly, now when that has happened, if it does happen, education will be sorted. This thing that people are going to hospital today, they can't get medical services because of SHA shift or whole debacle will be sorted out. Infrastructure in the country suddenly, miraculously, at the snap of finger will be sorted out? Will we then suddenly have a robust system whereby corruption is taken care of? The thing that has everybody with rapt attention right now, that's supposed to be making sure all these other things are taken care of, they are doing this thing. So now, when this impeachment, should it happen, are we saying that it is the stumbling block to all of these other things happening, and that they get rid of it or they get rid of him? Then suddenly we all see all these things falling into place, like falling dominoes.
You will have an executive that is serving the people and not amassing wealth. That's what you're going to have.
Well, that's what's going to happen now.
You're going to have the chairman of IBEC.
Caused this to happen. Is causing what City is saying at the moment. It has taken center stage. Whoever has caused it, I do not want to cast aspersions on anyone, but it is here. The elephant is here. But once it leaves, all those other things will go back to where they were 3 weeks ago.
Asking.
You understand? We'll be talking about the life insurance fund or hospital insurance fund. We shall be talking about capitation. Some may say these people derailed us
to
deal with these problems.
Yep.
You understand? Because human beings are interesting. They take advantage of situations as they emerge. So let's deal with it. This, you can't run away from it. No, it's here.
It's here?
It's here. We can't stop it.
It's constitutional.
We can't stop it. It's there. The train has left the station. So let it go. But is it going to go and leave us better?
Exactly. Is it going to suddenly
Is
it going to place upon the minds of people who are responsible for making the law and representing people
we need
that we
to
should
blame
focus?
both of them because they didn't manage their
internal
marriage. You understand? Lakini hufika mahali bibi anasema huyu wacha mimi nihame. Huyu nitakufa nikiishi na yeye. I am sure they must have tried to manage their problems.
Now the matter is before elders in a public gathering.
And wote wawili ni kichwa ni ngumu. Unaniona?
So it's a character
I
clash.
was in the room. I mean, I don't think.
I want to take you back there.
I was in the.
I want to take you back there, okay? In Karen, in 2022,
Yes.
we were treated to a weekend of drama.
Yes.
Before the announcement was made that the running mate for William Ruto
2 days
is
there.
Yes, it was 2 days. Just
2 days,
some
2 nights.
drama. I don't know, we're hearing there were polls that are being conducted. Let's call people. We call people and ask them, who would you prefer? It comes this way. Let's do another poll. Let's talk to the leaders who are present. The leaders are asked, who would you prefer? You present your list. It comes this way. It comes.
That is the real story. The last one.
Some people dropped out.
The latter.
The leaders.
Yes, leaders.
By majority, those who were running with the Kenya
the
Kwanzaa,
kitchen cabinet then.
they did not want this person.
Yes.
They voted for somebody else.
Yes.
Right now, we are hearing this impeachment has been brought up by MPs,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And other ground leaders. And they're the ones who are saying, this guy is whatever. They're saying he's been arrogant, he's rude to fellow leaders. I suspect it's the same people who did not put a tick against his name.
Maybe some of them, because I know the group that was there. Without naming people, I was in that meeting.
So some of them.
I was in that meeting. It was very heated.
Why?
The Honorable William Ruto, His Excellency the President, opened up a discussion with leaders to help him identify a good deputy president. And presentations were done by a good team of people who had done a lot of research, saying if Tenga and Martha are the candidates on that side, which combination of William Ruto and who would be best suited to counter that one and win. So when that presentation was done, the best combination at that point, mark my words, at that point, don't ask me about today,
By the technocrats.
by the technicals, was a mixture of William Ruto and Kindiki. would have done better against Tinga
And Martha.
and Martha. And that was the discussion there. And I remember that we were about 24 thereabout. The discussion went sana deep until they decided we are going to take a vote. Whether people had lobbied for those people or not, I do not know, because I came just like an hour before now what's happening. And sure, as night follows day, pop, vote was done. This guy got 3, my deputy president. I think Wayne and Waiguru got 1. I said I'll not name names.
Alice.
But you haven't named names.
It's just
So
continue.
someone else got 1, and this other one got 20. I think 20 or 21.
So a majority.
90%.
Right.
Okay.
And that decision was communicated to them. They were brought back in. They were told this is the position, and we said we'll stand by it. That's the decision. They were given a chance to. I'm talking about something that I should not be talking about, but I'm saying we are in this thing now.
We're where we are.
We are where we are.
Deal.
And the Honorable Gachagua stood up and said, I've heard what you people have done, but I had no discussions with you people. My discussions were with
This guy.
guy.
The candidate.
Yes. So my problem is him. Apple.
Mbele ya watu.
So anyway, many things happened between that minute and midnight and the next morning when we went in to announce the team is so and so.
Get an election then.
But you have
This
heard
midnight
people
story.
saying we banged the table inside the office. You know, I'm not discussing the merits of this thing, but Pene Moshi,
Palipo na Moshi.
Moto.
usually these 2 people would have managed their problems for Kenya to have an easy time. But they didn't. One is talking, one is not talking. I sympathize with the one who is talking.
William, you have been in a position of extreme power yourself.
Extreme.
Yes. A governor is akin to a president.
Very
I mean,
good.
the powers of a governor are immense. It's serious power. There's always a discussion about how it changes people.
Yes.
Are we seeing such a thing?
Yes and no. Yes and no. We have a problem now as a country. We need to deal with it, and we should not let this thing tear up our country. I don't think it has the capacity to, but we should be careful.
We should take this
Deputy
as...
governors must have worries like hell. You know, they will be impeached left, right, and center. And you know, if I was to change the constitution, that is the first place I would go to.
That one.
Yes.
And change it in what direction?
That if the remainder of a term is more than 11 months, you go back to the people. If you impeach a governor 3 years to the election, you go back to the people. Go and get a fresh mandate.
Rudy Kwadebe.
Because right now, every deputy governor sitting, he has an opportunity to become governor just through Senate.
Evil too. William, our
Evil
time
too.
is up.
You
Well, thank you
understand?
very much for coming today. Come again.
Asante
Come
Ndugu.
again. Let's chambua this thing more as time progresses.
We should. But,
But
our country should stay united.
Very good.
We should have a good country called Kenya. And we come back and deal with corruption.
We had promised to give 3,000 shillings to one person for renewing their subscription to their Safaricom Home Fiber. Your subscription to the fifth bronze services has been renewed, but 299999. Okay, and this is Oscar Tsimbalaka Mwanzi, who has sent us a screenshot that they have actually renewed. Oscar, congratulations. 3,000 shillings worth of airtime is coming to you, courtesy of Safaricom Home Fiber. Continue enjoying what we call efficiency in terms of communication and access to information through Safaricom Home Fiber. Thank you for tuning in to Kenya's biggest conversation today. Tomorrow is Thursday. It's the 3rd. We'll be back here. It's 10 a.m.